In this video, we're going to talk about 3 different design styles that actually make sales, and we're also going to go over how to create them. It doesn't matter if you have a clothing brand or an Etsy print-on-demand store, we're going to go over both ways, and I'm going to show you why these design methods are really powerful and show you why they actually make sales. Not too long ago, we made a similar video. We went over how we created this bootleg style Dennis Rodman shirt, but of course, we got a lot of comments on copyright and not being able to use it. We'll also go over why you'll see some stores that's able to get away with it, and we'll also be able to go over a way to be able to sell shirts just like this without any type of copyright issues whatsoever. So let's go ahead and hop into it. So what we did in the previous video, I always said you have to create designs based off of product research. I won't necessarily say always, but if you're a brand new store and you're just putting up designs that you think are cool, that does not mean it's going to get sales. Not everyone likes what you like. So what you have to do is prove your design based off of designs that are already selling. So what we can do is go to a website like PacSun, Urban Outfitters, whatever it may be, whatever is trendy and in and has to do with your niche or relates to your audience. So I can click on unisex, men, women. I can click on tops, and then we can click on graphic tees. And now, as you can see, we got all kinds of graphic tees going on, but these are kind of their featured products, which as you can see right here. So this is how they sort it, so that, for example, if they have a product that's not selling very well, maybe they want to push that over to the first page so that they can start getting rid of it. What we can do is sort it by best sellers. So this goes by the data in their system that's showing products that has been selling the most lately. As you can see, all these are trending now. That's their top products, which is Fear of God. So on that end, that's based off a brand that has sold really well already. Of course, we see this t-shirt design style sell very well lately. It's that bootleg style. Dennis Rodman and his team's been really good at creating designs similar to that style. We did something like this in the previous video. That style's still hot, so maybe we can do something similar still. The silver regime, if that's how you say it, you know what? We can look it up. So how to say, let's see. Regime. So I'm pretty much right. I was almost gonna say regimen. Silver regime. So they've been really good. Did you know, I actually think this brand is owned by brothers, and they also own the brand Dark Sport, which is crazy because they're going crazy, man. So we have the Dennis Rodman style pulled up again. I guess we could do something similar once again. So you always have to base your product designs off of something that's already selling, whether it's the actual graphic design style or just even the layout itself. As you can see, this one has the front left chest and front right chest, and then it also has the back print. So you can always look at the layout as well, see what's going on. As you can see, this one has it over here to the middle, to the bottom. This one right here is text that's just kind of really across. This one's the classic front left and full on back. And then you have something that's really simple. So always think about it when you're creating designs. Are you creating it just because you think it's cool, or it actually has demand? As you can see, this bootleg style is still in. So we'll go over this again, and I'll go over a way that you can start selling it for your brand without any copyright issues whatsoever. So what we're going to do now, of course, we're doing this portion for educational purposes. We're going to click on images, Michael Jordan face. So let's click on tools and then click size and large. You always want to do this so you make sure you get the highest quality images possible. Once again, this portion is for educational purposes. So let's go ahead and see what kind of bootleg styles is already in with Michael Jordan. So as you can see, someone already selling that style, and this one's a really nice one right here. I really like that one. So once again, I go over copyright and why some people are able to get away with this as well. As you can see, that one looks like a real Michael Jordan tee. No, I'm not too sure. It's hard to tell. Obviously this one is not, but people sell it anyways. We'll go over that in a second. So we could go more intense with this bootleg style. That one's really in as well, but I'm more of a fan of this style right here with just one face. So let's go ahead and go over that. So what we're going to do is go ahead and come on back over here. So we could already get one that already has his face cut out, or we could even use one that does not have his face cut out. So we'll go with one that does not have his face cut out. That way we can go over how to actually do it. So I'm actually going to go with this one. I don't know if this is the same one that we saw earlier. Let me see. So not exactly. This one he had on an NBA Champions 1996 hat. This one he has on an Olympics hat. So I'm hoping this one looks pretty cool if it'll come out that way. So what we're going to do this time is we're going to head on over to Kittle. Kittle's a dope designer. If you're new here, we have lots of video tutorials using this right here. So what I'm going to do is click on new project. So if you're new here, and if you're not new here, Kittle's a pretty dope designer that you can use just like on the website alone. You don't even have to download it or anything. And obviously I use it a lot for designs, but they've been adding lots of other material as well. They've included marketing material, so you can create business cards, so you can create branding material, you can create business material. At the end, maybe we'll try to create a Facebook ad out of this. I'm not too sure, but let's go ahead and hop into it anyway. So what I'm going to do is click on new project. They already have presets, so if you want to use this with websites like Printify, print-on-demand platforms, they already have the presets for the sizes on here. But in this example, we're going to go with inches. We always want to do 300 DPI when it comes to printed products. And then let's go ahead and do 16 by 20, which is a classic print size for that, you know, full size print, right? So now I'm gonna paste the image that I just copied over. Now I'm gonna click the crop tool, and I only want this portion of him right here. We're gonna click done. I'm gonna resize it a bit, and now here's where it's going to get a little tricky. I'm not sure how it's gonna turn out, but we're just gonna click AI background remover. All right, so it's not perfect. As you can see, it cut off his hat. All right, so what we're going to do is click back. I'm gonna go ahead and zoom in right here, and this time I'm gonna take the erase tool because I actually want it to go more something like this. All right, so in order to keep his hat here, I think what we'll have to do is already give it somewhat of an outline. So I'm gonna just erase around it just like that quite a bit. And in the last video we did use Photoshop, I believe. I like to go over different types of programs that you can use across every single video because I know everyone likes to use something different. So this will be a little bit easier if they had a pen tool on here, but the background remover and like the vectorizer and a lot of those tools on Kittle, I do find like the vectorize tool and the image upscaler to almost be a whole lot better when it comes to Kittle compared to Photoshop and Illustrator. So now I have that kind of erased. What we're gonna do is click AI background remover. Damn it, that still did not work. Let's click on the AI image upscaler. Maybe that'll bring up some of the colors in the hat so that it doesn't remove it whenever we click background remover. What just happened here? It included some kind of box going on right here, but I do kind of like this little color effect going on. So let's hit back one more time. All right, so I like the image vectorizer and upscaler on Kittle, but what we have to do right now is take this on over to Photoshop and use the pen tool to cut it out. But that's only because I definitely wanted to try out this photo. You can use a different photo if you want. That can be a whole lot easier. Obviously the hat is giving us a whole lot of issues. All right, so here I am on Photoshop. I'm just gonna go ahead and only crop this out right here. And now what we're gonna do is use the pen tool like I originally wanted to use. Boom, 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 just like that. Actually, I probably didn't even need to use the pen tool because Photoshop also has its own AI background remover. So I'm gonna do this right here. And if you're using Photoshop, I always like to use a feather of 1 so it's not too crispy of a cut. So you hit delete right there, and then we'll click remove background as well. Let's see if this helps us out. Boom, that helps us out quite a bit. So now you also come on over here, clean this up quite a bit. Doesn't have to be perfect because once we add in the grunge, it's going to help us out a lot as well. So now I also want to cut the rest of that out. All right, so now I'm gonna copy this over, paste him on over here. Now I have his face. We can do one or two things. We can try out the vectorizer, see how that looks. It's not perfect. We would have to try it out in Illustrator. Okay, so it's not perfect. So we're just gonna do one step back and do the image upscaler. Image too small to upscale. So maybe we should have upscaled it in the beginning. So let's try that out and see how that look real quick. So copy and paste this over. The upscale is kind of cool because it makes it look a lot more smooth. So what happens if we do that and then hit the background remover? Man, we should have did that to begin with. So we didn't really need Photoshop because now it picks up the hat right here. Oh my God. All right, so we did not need to go to Photoshop. All right, so now I'm gonna come on over here, click erase on all this area, and then we'll do the background remover again. Man, I can't believe it picked up his hat this time. All right, so now we'll just go ahead and hit a little bit more of this erase right here. And it doesn't have to be perfect because we'll just cover it up. Sometimes you guys, if you have something in a design that's not perfect, you can always cover up imperfections with a different design. So hit done, see if we click the background remover again, see if that helps clean that up a little bit. Okay, it doesn't, and it kind of messed this portion up. So we're gonna click back. All right, so it doesn't really clean it up too nicely. I wish they did have a pen tool when it comes to Kittle. Maybe that'll be a future tool. So we're gonna come back and clean this up just slightly. So that's just kind of me being a perfectionist. Gonna go ahead and zoom back out. Look at the quality difference between that one and the one we brought over from Photoshop. All right, so this one right here is better. And then now what we're gonna do, let's go ahead and change the color of the t-shirt. We're gonna change the background. We'll go ahead and make that black, or we could do like a charcoal style color. I'm not too sure, but we have that going on right there. And once again, I said imperfections, so we have like some imperfections right there. You could always cover it up with something like that. That's not the best placement, but something like this is already cutting off a lot of that edge. Let's see if we click AI background remover again, if it's gonna help take that portion away. It does not. So now what we'll do is come on down here and just kind of clean it up. But what would definitely cover up the imperfections is if we use a grunge effect across the whole entire thing. That's definitely going to help clean it up. Now we come back on over here. Let's go ahead and grab his signature real quick. So we have this one right here. Copy, paste it on over. Looks like we probably need it in white. So what we're going to do is vectorize it in just one color. And then now we have it vectorized. Looks a whole lot better, right? Now we have it in white. So let's see if we can find that same USA style font right there. So we found something somewhat similar right here. Can also use that, probably curve it a little bit, and then now bring that to the front. So we have a problem with his signature. I don't like how it's all the way out there. So what I'm gonna do is delete that one. I'm gonna bring it on in again twice, but this time, so check this out. So I'm gonna erase the second half, exit that, vectorize that, one color, gonna turn that into white. Now we have one portion of his signature right there, and we're gonna paste again, and then now we're gonna go on over to the erase tool, cut off the first half, hit done, vectorize that one, make that white, and boom, there we have it. All right, so now we need to clip this whole entire image with the grunge filter. So that's going to help hide a lot of imperfections, and it's just going to give it that more bootleg effect. So all we got to do is click on textures over here on the left side. There's a whole bunch of grunge filters that we can use, and let's just go ahead and add one. So we'll just click on the whole entire artboard, and then we'll click on this right here, and then we'll click on the multiple different types right here. We click on multiply, we click on overlay, click on soft light. Really, I only want it on his face though, because everything else does not look nice with it. Let me see how you delete it. So we're going to hit release texture, and then we'll just delete it. So let's see. This right here is his face. So what we can do is click on the filter right here. No, it doesn't work like that. Oh, right here. So now what we're going to do is click clip content. Yep, there we go. Now it's only on his face. That's exactly what I wanted. So now what we can do is drag our mockup on over, copy this over, paste this right here, and it's missing our grunge texture. I think it's because we're outside of an artboard. So as you can see, I just kind of dragged this over to see what it looked like. But there you pretty much have it. I think we did a lot better job in our last video of how we were able to do this as well. So feel free to check out the last video, because we played with the levels and whatnot a whole lot more as well. So on here, you would have to click on photo filter and pretty much play with all the colors. That way you can get a really nice tone. As you can see, if we desaturate it all the way, that almost looks a lot nicer as well. So we can increase the contrast a bit. You would just pretty much have to play with it until it's a color style that you actually like and actually fits the actual design itself. All right, so that's design tip number one, is pretty much creating designs based off of products that are already selling, even if it is your brand. Now let's go ahead and go into the copyright section of what we were talking about earlier. So you'll see a lot of people sell products like this with famous people's faces. A lot of times you're going to be interfering with two different types of copyrights. The photographer's copyright, for one, they own the copyright to the actual image. Now redistributing someone's likeliness and on someone's trademark, then you are also interfering with that. So a lot of people, they'll either sell it and they get away with it. The best reference I always hear is pretty much like speeding, right? You can go 20 miles per hour over the speed limit for years on years and not get caught. Same situation here. You can sell a lot and not get caught and not have an issue with it, but one day it might just be your luck that the brand's going to come after you. Sometimes brands don't go after smaller brands as well, just because they feel like they're going to spend more on lawyer fees trying to go after you, and you probably don't even have any money to pay them anyways. So a lot of times you will see a cease and desist, and that just pretty much tells you to stop before they do take some legal action. And then of course you do have a lot of brands who do own the rights to be able to redistribute and sell these types of designs. So with that being said, you would have to go directly to that trademark owner or the brand owner and see what kind of licensing they have for you to be able to sell their types of products. Now here's a way to be able to get around that. So what you can do is go after photos that are pretty much in public domain. So pretty much you can just go on Google, type in public domain images, or you can go right here, which is the Library of Congress, and they're free to use images. So there's all kinds of historical photos on here. And when it comes to creating your own brand, you can really think about specific things that relate to your brand. Let's say if you had a brand that was related to the founding of Washington, that's super easy for you. But for example, if you wanted to go and use an iconic athlete, just like how we did, you could do a Babe Ruth search, right? You can go ahead and come on here and look for some historical photos of Babe Ruth that's already in public domain, and then you can use photos like that. So that's one way you can go about it, and just use these types of images for your brand. So that's a way to be able to get around it. You gotta be a little bit creative and still use the same design process that you used before. All right, design tip number two, you can still use this for your own brand depending on what your niche is as well. This is a real powerful way to be able to find products that are already selling with data in mind. So right here I am using Everbee Research. This is going to show me the products that are selling well on marketplaces. So I'm coming on here. I see products that are doing $5,000 per month, $11,000 per month, $13,000 per month. Pretty much I could just click on any of them. And I'm also going to show you exactly how you're supposed to do a personalized product order on Printify, because a lot of you guys are still confused about that. But what you can do, for example, is find a product that you like and you see the stats look nice. As you can see, 19 $14.54. We got the shipping going on, $5.99. And right here, Everbee has also just launched this right here. So I can already see all the listing details right here. 431 monthly sales, going crazy, right? So it has an estimated monthly revenue of $17,575. And obviously this design style is really simple. It's just an image, right? But then you have this nice script text. So we can head back on over to Kittle, and then we can click on new project. Now we can head on over to the print on demand templates right here. We click on t-shirt with Printify, hit create. I'm just going to go ahead and put a placeholder right here. So I'm going to go on over to their images, and I'm just going to click on a family image right here. And then we're going to click on the text, add headline, blur text here. Then we're going to click on this right here and drag it so that the actual text fits the entire thing. One reason why I like to use Kittle for when it comes to designs like this is because they're always up to date with all their fonts and whatnot. And I don't have to sit there and download and look up for ones that I actually like anymore. So I'm going to type in script. And as you can see, there's lots of nice little script fonts that I can actually use. So that one right there, I won't necessarily say it's the same one as earlier, but it's kind of nice. That one right there fits nice as well. So now we have this template set up, and I wouldn't necessarily say this is a design tip, but it's almost more of a product research tip. And you can pretty much relate this to your brand as well. For example, 10 years ago, when I first got into the clone brand game and the Etsy game, I pretty much got my first $10,000 months just being able to do personalized products. So you can use this product research tool to be able to find design styles that can work for not only your Etsy shop, but say your clone brand as well if you are doing that. So for example, now we know personalization is cool, but now we can find different styles of text that can also relate to that right there. And then you can use that for your actual brand. So we knew that personalization was cool, but now we can go and see this style font right here. This looks a lot nicer for an actual brand. And then we can use analytics to see if it's actually selling. For example, this right here, that's really cool. That's kind of something that's going to be in the varsity style, that script file, and maybe it can relate to your brand. I'm not too sure, but it just depends on what your brand is. For example, this is going to be able to be a way. So not only design tip number 2, but also design tip number 3 is doing a whole overall product research and looking on that first page and see what kind of styles are in. Not only are you just looking on that direct product, but give a whole look at that whole entire page and see what styles are actually in. As you can see, this varsity font style, really popular right here once again. So you just look at the analytics and see if it matches, and if it works for you, then you can focus on the designs based on that right there. So now when it comes to using Printify, if you have a marketplace store like on Etsy, so what we can do is say someone sends us an order and we need to change the image. We would change the image and then we would head on over to Printify. Say for example, you already had your template set up for the actual listing. Now you need to fulfill a personalized product order. So we're on Printify, you just hit duplicate, and this is the product that you use to create your original Etsy listing. You hit duplicate and then you'll click on edit design, and then you'll delete the one that you had as a template, and then you'll upload the new design, right? And now we have that personalized image order, right? This one right here was doing $17,000 per month. So what we would do now is click save product, and now we have a new listing, but it's only catered to that one order. So you don't want to publish this to your store. So what we do is change the title name. You can pretty much put in the order number that came with that order, or you can put in the person's full name. So what we would do, we'll type in the order number that came in with that customer's order, and then you click save as draft. Do not publish it. Now you go to your orders. Okay, I did miss a step. We have to set this to manual. So that way Printify does not automatically approve all these orders. You have to go to store settings, click on order settings, and then come on down to here, and where it says order approval, make sure it's on manual, because if you have it on automatic, Printify is going to automatically approve the order, and they're going to get sent that template design that you use for your Etsy listing. All right, so now we're back on here. You'll click on that person's order number that correlates to the order number that you just created. Click on edit order. You'll hit delete, and then you click add product to order, and then you'll click on that order number which contains that image for this person's order, and then you click on the size that they needed, the color that they needed, and then you would add it to the cart. Now you can continue on to fulfill this customer's order with their personalized order. So that was 3 simple and easy design tips that you can use for your brand and Etsy shop. So number 1 is looking at bestsellers on popular websites. You can do this on Urban Outfitters, PacSun, whatever your niche, and you feel like that website caters to your audience. Look at your competitors and see what they're actually selling, and then you can base designs off of that. Number 2, when when it comes to a marketplace, you can use that same information, do product research with a tool like Everbee, use that to sell products on either the marketplace like Etsy, Amazon, or you can also use ideas from there to influence your own brand if you have a brand. Design tip number 3 was pretty much also using the product research tool itself and giving a whole overall look to see what kind of styles are in. You can also do that and relate that to the same thing as step number 1. Give an entire overall look at every single product and see what they have similar to each other and see what you can spot out and see what's actually trending among all of those designs. Not only that, we also went over if you're doing personalized orders with a platform like Print on Demand, Printify, and how to fulfill those personalized orders, because it can be confusing, because a lot of times if you're new to the platform, you really don't know how to fulfill a personalized order. So let me know if that was helpful down below. Go ahead and comment, like, subscribe, and let me know if these 3 design tips helped you.